Body for the top, baby. Bang.
10 toes down, I got shows and verses, I'ma bring them to your town. For the right, fucking them out. You can hit me right now. 54 show, and 24 12. I'm a loose screw, I ain't no nail. Walk up in the building.
Ladies and gentlemen, listeners around the world, welcome to episode 5, I believe, of the 10 Toes Down podcast. We are definitely one of the sports podcasts of all time. I hope it's episode 5. I think it's episode 5. This was week 5, so it's episode 5. It's not 6 or 7, Torn. I'm Brandon Crone. I'm joined here by Nate Harrington, Torn Roth, and John Hassan. John Hassan, the camera's not working this time. I think it's just gonna depend on luck on whether or not we get John's camera.
Can we just leave the picture of him and Joe Burrow's face just as the picture?
No, I don't want to put mid on my podcast, if possible. But we're here after a pretty crazy week 5. The first pod after a Bills loss that we've had to film, and that's what we're gonna get right into. The Bills, as it's seen in the title. Have we been exposed by the New England Patriots? I'm just going to start it off with a hot question. Let's get right into business here. Have we been exposed on Sunday Night Football?
No, we were exposed this whole season, bro. There's a lot of weak points in our team right now.
Man. Not buns,
especially when it comes to defense. Yeah. And I think that was the most awful display of offensive football that I've seen.
We still scored 20-plus points and put up over 300 yards of offense.
I understand that, but it's to the New England Patriots, which I get it. The New England Patriots, they've been doing their thing this season.
The Pats aren't even bad. The Pats are good.
But I mean, we go out and we just show poor effort, it seems like, and just nothing seems to be clicking when it comes to the offense. But the defense is really, I mean, we all know the defense has been a big talking point all season through Bills fans. And I think last week, again, really showed it. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't think we were fully exposed, but I think we got shown to be, we might not be the Super Bowl contender this season.
Well, okay. Just to take over real quick. I don't think we're necessarily exposed. Sure, we didn't play our best game, and the defense hasn't been great, but offensively, we still, we should have lost that game by more than 3 points, if we're being real, right? Mm-hmm. But our offense still scored, 20 points. We still put up, numbers-wise, good offensive numbers. It was the worst game in the Joe Brady era, for sure, but turnovers and penalties really, I think, are what hindered the offense, but defensively, yeah, I'd have to agree. I don't really understand what's going on with the Bills defense. I'm not going to sit here and say injuries, because regardless if someone is hurt or not, it's next man up. You know what I mean? You got to go in and take over that spot. We paid Christian Benford this extension to get cooked by guys like Keyshawn Boutte. Absurd, in my opinion. Actually, he's been exposed this whole season, not just by Keyshawn Boutte, but by DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek Hill, who he usually does really good against, guys like Chris Olave. And I don't mean to throw shade at Chris Olave, but again, Christian Benford was talked to be this underrated top 10 corner, and now he gets paid, and he just looks like absolute garbage. And speaking of absolute garbage, that was what Tre'Davious White was on that football field on Sunday Night Football. Making Stephon Diggs look like it's 2020 again, and he's in a Bills uniform. Diggs finished with 10 catches for 146 yards. I know Drake May's been playing hot, but I guess the whole Patriots game plan was try and run the ball and throw it to Stephon Diggs, and they executed that perfectly. And I got one thing I want to say about the Bills defense is, in terms of defensive stats, the Bills are at the highest, 28th. Sorry, not the highest, 23rd, and that's on success percentage on late downs. Everything else is 28th through 32nd, which is not good. And this is all passes defended, EPA when leading, stuff like that. I found on Twitter, and I didn't want to just waffle all them off, but that the Bills defense is just, I don't know. And don't even get me started on the safeties. I don't want to just sit here and just rant and take up an hour on this podcast about how bad the safeties are in Buffalo too. But in the first half of the game, it was a flag fest. I've never seen so many flags against the Buffalo Bills this season that I did in the first half of this football game.
Yeah, the refs were cucking us. We need to make a move at the deadline for like a big time player, or we're screwed.
Give us a corner from the
We
the
need
Browns.
Denzel Ward on the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
that's like the only thing that
Denzel Ward. You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
You know, as an Ohio State fan, I would personally love him. Right now, I think he's cooking. Top 3 corner in the league right now, and it just sucks that he's on an awful team. To have him on that addition and have Benford as your 2 and White as your 3, it's better than having Trey White as your 2. Because Trey White's been sucking.
Yeah, because
Trey White
our
would be the 4.
Shows no signs of playing.
He would be the 4.
No, our first-round pick shows no signs of playing this year.
If Maxwell Harrelson comes back,
he's not going to play this year. There's a reason McDermott's being so.
Just having more defensive depth would help out so much.
McDermott's been like cryptic with his playing time, talking about like if he starts practicing, like he's saying if and not when. So if they don't open in like there's 2 weeks to open his practice window, or he has to miss the season. We haven't done it yet.
But to touch back on it, I mean, Drake May's been playing really good to start off this season. I mean, despite the record that they have a really good defense. They have really good corners. Christian Barmore, I swear, is in the backfield every single play. I actually got confused because I think it's Milton. I thought the guy they brought in from the Eagles, I thought that it was him the whole game, and I was wrong. It was Christian Barmore. That dude was in the backfield so many times, making our line, which is a pretty strong and good offensive line, look pretty weak. And we couldn't run the football at all against the Patriots. James Cook might have had one really explosive run, but Ray Davis has disappeared. He's lost his running backs 2 spot to Ty Johnson. James Cook can get anything going on the ground, and that I don't think the Josh pick was too terrible, but the fumble from Keon and the fumble on the handoff are just inexcusable, and those are mental errors that cost us during the game. It's just as simple as that.
No, we're one of the more fraudulent contenders right now. I don't understand why we're still. I'm not one to hit the panic button because I had the Patriots finishing second in the division, but we should not be. We shouldn't. I don't know if we should still be necessarily like heavily favored to take the number 1 seed in the AFC. I don't think Josh should be MVP frontrunner by as large of a margin as he is right now either, because the past 2 games he hasn't looked great, and he has to really bounce back this week on the road against Atlanta before we start getting into some more difficult games. I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about this team. I feel like it's just the same stuff that I see every year. We start really hot. It's week 4 to 5. We have an ugly loss. It just feels like we're repeating the same things over and over. McDermott always has to have one of those sloppy losses every year, and I'm just getting tired of it. I'm tired of watching the same show every year. I don't think this year is going to be any different. I don't think we're winning the Super Bowl.
Hire Bill Belichick.
I think the thing is, though, what's weird is this has been one of the more efficient Bills offenses that we have seen. It's just we're not nearly scoring as I shouldn't say that because we're still putting up almost 30 games, but I touched back on last week, we don't score in the middle quarters, like the second and third. We seem to be first quarter and fourth quarter dominant. You can't win football games, especially against good teams like that. Eventually, later on in this segment, we're going to obviously talk about the Eagles and their struggles a little bit. But I wouldn't say it's as bad as the Eagles, but when you play down to a team or you start getting nothing from one side of the ball, then a good team is going to take advantage of that. And the Patriots were really hungry coming into this game. We kind of just were like, oh wow, we got the rivalry jerseys, Josh Allen,
burn those things.
Really efficient offense, really good offense, and we didn't play a dogfight. We came in and we were like, oh, we're gonna walk all over you, and you saw what happened. I mean, it was ugly. It was one of the worst games I've seen in a while, for it only being a 3-point loss.
Never wear the rivalry jerseys again.
I still think the Pats are going to be a legit team. I could 100% see them winning 11 games this year.
Whoa,
Christian Gonzalez stays healthy, man.
That's a lot of games.
Well, look at the rest of their schedule. They got Jets twice, They got the rest of the NFC South minus the Panthers. And then they've also got, I think it's the Ravens who have been sucking. I think they could easily beat the Ravens. They got the Steelers, which is, I think, the toughest thing that they've got in the AFC North. And then they've got the Bengals, and I think they'll beat them too because Joe Burrow's going to be out.
I think they're going to lose a game to Miami, dude. They're going to lose to Miami.
Yeah, but I
Miami
still
them the first
think they're
time.
going to be good. Like I could
Tua
see
threw
them
for 315 or something like that against them, and they only lost because of how bad the Dolphins mismanaged that fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I mean, they were going on a game-winning drive, and they had like 3 different penalties that set them back and ended up in a game-losing interception, I think, or something like that. Like, I don't know. I like the Patriots, but they're not the Bills level yet. And I know the Bills haven't been playing that great, but like people are saying, oh, the Patriots now are going to go and try and run the division. It's like there's no one in this division
found their
still
next 10-year franchise quarterback.
Touching the Bills. They're not touching the Bills over one game. Everyone needs to kind of pump the brakes a little bit, but like.
We lost
to
Mac Jones before. We lost to Mac Jones before in his rookie year. But listen, we have seen this consistently with the Buffalo Bills. They play to their opponent's level. And we know this. This is a fact. We'll play to our opponent's level. Yes, we mollywhopped the Jets. We should have beaten the Dolphins.
Worst starter in football. That's why.
We should have beaten the Dolphins by more. And I think we should have beaten the Patriots by quite more instead of losing by 3 points. But we've seen that the Bills tend to play to their opponent's level. I mean, we had a great game against Baltimore. Baltimore is a good team. I know their record might not show it, but if you have the pieces there in Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, they are a good team. And I said, I know the record doesn't show up, and I mean, we got Kansas City in a couple weeks. We have Atlanta this upcoming week, who's kind of hit or miss. I mean, I think we beat Atlanta, but
we haven't beaten a good team yet.
We've seen crazier things happen. But yeah, so the Bills play to the level of their opponents, and it always comes to bite us when we play crappy teams, and we always lose that stinker game early on in the year that sometimes costs us the 1 seed.
That's why I'm saying it's the same thing every year. If you want to win a ring, you can't continue to do the same stuff every year and expect different results. We need to see some form of change with the team. You said earlier we haven't beaten a good team yet. We haven't proven ourselves as the legitimate number 1 team in the AFC by any means. I don't care what the record says. The Colts would beat us right now. We beat Justin Fields. That was the only convincing win we've had, and who is the worst starter in football. I would take. There are plenty of backups that I would take over Justin Fields right now. I would take Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. I would take one of Brock Purdy or Mac Jones, whichever one is named the starter, or whichever else. Joe Milton is another one that I would take. Tyrod Taylor, possibly Mitch Trubisky, and probably a few others that I'm forgetting.
A couple things. I think we're making.
Also, what is that hissing sound? Does anyone else hear that?
No.
Okay, it's gone now.
No,
sorry.
I heard a hissing sound earlier, but
I think for as good as Mac Jones is, he's really succeeding like this because of the 49ers. I mean, I don't know. But
we'll get into that when we talk about the game.
Well, anyways, to go back to John, I disagree. I don't think the Bills looked that great at all, honestly, against Baltimore until Josh Allen put the team on his back.
We were getting destroyed, dude.
The Patriots have always given us fits. I mean, outside of going to even early 2020 when we played Cam at home, it came down to a Cam Newton fumble, and then we cooked them in Foxborough. But there always are close games against New England. Look at last year in December when we wore the red with the white, instead of just wearing the all red. I mean, dude, that going back before Josh Allen threw the pick against the Saints, that was the last time Josh Allen threw an interception, given it was an arm punt. But it was a dogfight of a game. It's these games against the Patriots are going to be tough, and I'm not completely shocked that we dropped a divisional game, because I mean, it's either we lose a tight divisional game or we're gonna lose it because it's the end of the season and we play our backups. But division games, regardless, are always going to be dogfights, and we think of ourselves too highly. We got to go into every game, not just a division game, like it's 1-0, and then we got to play to prove ourselves. And if we're just going to keep playing extremely mediocre football like this, then we're gonna get blown out by the Falcons. And I don't even like Michael Penix that much, and he might throw for like 300 on our secondary.
No, and we're glazing Drake May too much too. He's good, sure. But
he's good, but it's a stretch. It's just the stretch.
He's like, oh, he's the franchise. The Patriots, they went from Tom Brady to Drake May. I saw Theo Ash on Twitter the other day ask. He genuinely asked the question, would you start your franchise right now with Drake May or Lamar Jackson? Why is that a question? Why?
It's for clicks. It's for clicks.
Drake May. Drake May can't stand on the same football field as Lamar Jackson.
In all honesty,
that is ridiculous.
In all honesty, if you base, depending on how you view your MVP, right? So if we're gonna take it more of a statistical way right now, if regardless if Lamar Jackson's hurt or not, Lamar Jackson would be the MVP frontrunner right now. If you care that much about stats.
Sure, maybe off stats. I mean, he's still the team's really bad. The team's terrible. Anyway, I don't have the Ravens on the agenda. I don't think there's much else we really need to say. They traded Odafe away for what's that's worth. He's washed in 2025, so I don't think that matters. I don't know. Their defense, despite having like all the names,
they just signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson to their practice squad.
Yeah, why didn't we do that?
Those were the Bills.
We're allergic.
What do you mean? We signed Bill Inspector.
Yeah, we're allergic to talent. I told you we'd sign a special teamer. We're gonna make a move at the deadline for a punt returner, probably. Hey, he can play nickel corner.
Kelvin Benjamin.
We're gonna bring Harrison.
I don't know. The Bills give me migraines sometimes, and we'll see where the team goes next week. But right now, man, they are really on my fraud watch. I'm not comfortable with this team at all. I haven't been for a few weeks. Now that we've actually lost a game, now I'm really ready to.
I think it makes it a little. I think it takes a little pressure off, though. I think losing takes a little pressure off in a way.
We're gonna bring
not when you lose an ugly game at home. No, not when you lose.
Sure,
not when you lose the home winning streak.
When you're not the Super Bowl champions and you're favored to win every single game, and then these games that you're favored to absolutely kill them. What was the spread of the Dolphins game? It was some absurd thing where people were
no, it wasn't. The Dolphins.
Or that was the Saints then.
Or was it the Saints?
The Dolphins was less.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Saints was. The Dolphins was like 11.5. 10.5.
Yeah, but they expect these it's a lot of expectation for a team that consistently loses in the playoffs.
We should be winning at home. We just lost the home winning streak with this game. I don't think people aren't talking about that. We had won all those games consecutively at home and just lost it to the Patriots, a team we should beat 7 days a week. They're still patchy. We somehow couldn't get pressure. We couldn't sack Drake May. Their O-line is terrible, and we couldn't get there.
Our defensive line is terrible.
Our defensive line is so bad. Gregory.
He had his best game of the year last week.
It was still trash. We're missing Ed Oliver so
much.
I said,
we're going to
put on his cleats and fucking play football.
Phillips back.
No, we need Ed Oliver. We need Ed Oliver to put on his pants and play some fucking football like you're paid to do. You make a huge impact just one game and just haven't played the rest of the year.
You know another team who's undefeated at home right now? What you know about the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Kansas City Chiefs?
Mahomes is a fraud.
The Chiefs in their loss.
No. Mahomes. The refs wanted the Chiefs to win that game so fucking bad. Trevor Lawrence sat on the sidelines while Mahomes led a touchdown drive, digging in his nose, and said, "I'm about to throw this booger ball all over your team." Drops an absolute dime to BTJ, the best throw I've ever seen in Trevor Lawrence's NFL career. Then falls on his ass, gets back up. I watched Chris Jones be the laziest football player in NFL history, not even attempt to make a play. He runs into the you don't need to talk about anything. Chris Jones just got a contract. Trevor Lawrence, game-winning rushing touchdown. His celly is in sync with the Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium's fireworks. It's aura. He digs in his nose, flicks his booger on the referees, flicks his booger on Patrick Mahomes and says, "You're not hoeing me out of this game. We're 4-1 and we're winning the AFC South." And Liam Cohen is that guy and will win Coach of the Year when they sweep the Indianapolis Colts in December.
That is not happening.
The Kansas City Chiefs, in the last 2 games they've played, have looked like the Kansas City Chiefs, though. I mean, barring the fact that they just had a close loss to Jacksonville, who is playing good and has an elite defense, Chiefs look a lot better in the last 2 games than we have since the Jets.
That's not.
It just takes the Chiefs are clicking, and I know we have bias and we love that the Chiefs have a losing record and everything, but if the Chiefs start to get rolling, man, it is going to be very interesting. I mean, Devin Lloyd continuing his All-Pro caliber season.
He's winning
another interception.
He is another interception good this year. It's ridiculous.
Last week I said All-Pro. Now I'm saying Depoy. He's winning Depoy. Voter fatigue.
He's putting time in the film room. I think though, because of what I think it was either Buck or Aikman said it. He was actually not the starter going into Jags training camp. He had to earn his spot, and now he's proven why he should be that starting linebacker.
That's crazy.
But I would say
at the 2 is ridiculous.
I would say this though.
Mahomes magic, baby.
What's it called? The Jags offense still doesn't really move me that much. I mean, for most of the game, I think especially in the beginning part of the game, they didn't look that great. Trevor Lawrence is still extremely inconsistent. Threw a terrible pick that, even though it should have been PI, but that's what's gonna happen when we play the Chiefs, low-key. But I don't know. Trevor Lawrence doesn't move me as a quarterback. ETN is playing good, but I mean, Travis Hunter just had the best game, I think, of his career, possibly, so far. He played great defense and had that huge catch down the field. I think it was in the 3rd quarter. Caught over, 2 people.
Yeah.
But the Jags defense
adjusted to get it was crazy.
Okay, what is really confusing about the Jags offense? What is with all the pre-snap penalties and the delay of games?
That was the delay of game was ridiculous at the end in the 4th quarter.
It's happened consistently.
But lot of it was mainly just a lot of. It wasn't necessarily calls against the Jags that were bad. It was the missed calls on Kansas City. I know that was a bad throw on the Trevor Lawrence interception, but it was extremely clear DPI that the receiver was totally he set a pick. He totally got screened. It's not legal defense. That pick should have been called back. A lot of other plays throughout the game. It was just, Trevor Lawrence beat 2 teams last night in prime time.
Travis Kelce had himself a pretty good game last night, though.
Yeah,
not last night, the other night.
It was 2025.
It was the best Travis Kelce game I've seen this year. I'm pretty I don't know. It was notable enough to me, and Mahomes continues to show off his eliteness of being a scrambling quarterback. I mean, the man's running for his life and escaping all these blitz and pressures. I don't know. This is I mentioned in the group chat, but this is by far Mahomes' best rushing season, and he's set to have a career year in terms of rushing so far through 5 weeks. So it's also because they don't have a run game. The Chiefs' run game is
awful this year.
What's also crazy is that in the red zone, their run game's taking a lot of touchdowns from Mahomes though too. I will say Kareem Hunt had 2 of his own last night. Mahomes didn't.
I like that kid that they drafted out of
a spectacular game. He threw a really bad.
I like the kid they drafted out of SMU. I can't recall his name right now, but yes, he took Sky Moore's number. I was gonna say he's number 24. He's a gadget guy, and they're slowly working him in to get more running back reps. But that dude, he was a former wide receiver, made running back, and I remember he gave Clemson hell in the couple times that we played him. So it's exciting to see him a little bit.
Well, I'm about to push a disgusting agenda.
Okay.
Oh boy, and you seem to do that a lot, though.
Well, okay, I get there's Bills bias, but I just want to say I don't know if this is a disgusting agenda. If the Chiefs lose next week, they'd be 2-4, and the earliest they can have a winning record would be week 9.
No, they're not going to. They play Detroit, Washington, and Buffalo, and 3 of their next 4. They're going to be 3-6.
And then they play the Broncos and the Colts and the Cowboys.
Yeah,
that is a tough stretch.
Come back.
There is a legit
come back to this when the Chiefs are 4-8.
There is a legit chance that the best that they finish this year is 11-6 or 10-7. I put that as their ceiling.
I think they're gonna go 9-8, 8-9. They're not beating Dallas. They're not beating Dallas, and you want to know why they're not beating Dallas? Because Dak Prescott is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
They'll beat Dallas. They'll
They're not
have
beating
Rashee
Dallas.
Rice back. They still have their defense.
Dak will have CD back.
So
Yeah,
Dak's
Dak
secondary
Prescott without his receiver one is
the Dallas
Dak's
defense
winning
is just
MVP this
absolute
year.
garbage. Dallas's defense is absolute garbage.
Mahomes still can't
There's
throw a
just
deep
a real
ball.
shot that they like the max that
He
they
doesn't
get
have
is
to throw a
wild card
deep ball.
7.
That's how
There's a
the
realistic
Cowboys
shot.
offense is giving up all these big plays. Mahomes won't get
Xavier
the ball.
Worthy, with the way that they're using Xavier Worthy, he's gonna have
It's
himself
not the
a pretty
short
good
game
year.
that's killing Dallas. It's the long ball. It's Kyer Elam and Trayvon Diggs in single coverage down the field. Mahomes can't get the ball there. His deep ball is gone. It's washed.
They're gonna just do their RPO and short over the middle stuff. They'll beat Dallas.
Dak's still throwing for 400 yards in the game. I'm telling you, bro. He's winning MVP.
He's gonna get picked off by Trent
and it should
McDuffie.
be his second one, and he's top 5 in the game. And I'm taking Dak Prescott over Joe Burrow in the current day 2025. No,
He's getting sacked by Chris Jones and picked off by Trent McDuffie in that game.
Absolutely not. The Chiefs are losing to Detroit. They might lose to Washington. They're losing to the Bills.
Then they play
I give the Bills the
and then-
edge.
But
They're
Nate,
losing to the Colts and they're
they have a
losing to
stretch-
the Cowboys.
They have
That's
a stretch of
5.
They have a stretch of 5 where it's Commanders, Bills, Broncos, Colts, Cowboys. Like
They'll
that
beat
is,
the Commanders.
They're
but
not
that
beating.
stretch of
Beat the-
5. There's a realistic shot that the best they
Maybe
go is
maybe
beat
they'll
the
beat
three.
Washington, but either
They'll
way,
beat
that's
Washington.
2-2. That's 2-2 in a stretch, right?
They could beat the
And then
Bills. This is
Cowboys.
it's not like it's
We're
sure
not
it's
losing
the
to
regular
the Chiefs in the regular
the
season.
regular season Bills should beat the Chiefs because it's the regular season. But the Chiefs have looked so much better than the Bills in these last 2 weeks, and the Bills defense has looked like absolute shit the whole year. I don't see a world where
Listen,
which one of
And
our
there's a
guys is
guy
going to
named-
stop Worthy and Rashee Rice, bro? Or Travis Kelce.
There's a guy named Patrick Mahomes on the other side of the field. And no matter what, when it comes to big time games, he will win it if he
did he
needs
win
to.
last night or 2 nights ago?
Okay, but Trevor Lawrence falls. I mean, yeah, it's he lost, but that's
With
just
help
an
of the
unlucky
refs,
play
too?
right there. It's an unlucky play right there. Trevor Lawrence falling down and getting back up and making somehow there's a hole for him to get into the end
Goofiest
zone. That's just
touchdown I've-
unlucky.
yeah, dude,
it
that's
was-
the
but what
goofiest
about
touchdown I've ever seen.
Stupidest.
What about the
Stupidest
touchdown he
touchdown.
gave to the Jacksonville Jaguars with his own hand on the 2-yard line?
On the 2-yard line.
What about that?
Well, I mean, it's
Where was your Mahomes
in
magic on that pick six?
In
And
retrospect,
did you see his
it's
tackle
almost
attempt?
irrelevant. It's almost irrelevant because he still went down and gave him the lead with the sub-minute left. Trevor Lawrence just finally put his big boy pants on and won them the game.
Did you see his tackle attempt on Devin Lloyd too?
I mean, he's a quarterback.
I don't care. Josh
Josh Allen has no, dude. You should go look at Josh Allen trying to tackle a corner from the Chiefs last year when he threw a pick.
Look at Joe Flacco's tackles. Look at
Quarterbacks
Look at
are
Peyton
not meant to
Manning's
tackle,
tackles.
bro.
Mahomes is just
Quarterbacks don't be tackling.
Mahomes.
You're harping on
is-
Mahomes just a little too much.
No, that shit was ass,
Wimp.
man. I don't know.
Wimp,
Bro,
I-
what do you want the
yeah.
dude to...
wimp.
You
He
make an
tried to
attempt
take
at
out
it.
the
You
lip.
make an attempt at
He
least.
dove at him. He dove at him.
He
That's,
did.
like,
It was terrible.
he's the most valuable player on that field. I mean, if he gets hurt tackling a linebacker, I'd be pretty fucking
I'm not saying he has
pissed.
to
At
go
least he
full
had-
throttle, but it's like he barely even made an attempt. It looked like when Taylor Rapp was trying to tackle Derrick Henry in Week 1. And in any
Look,
event,
Taylor
let's
Rapp
think
is a
let's think
safety.
Let's think objectively here with the Chiefs schedule. They're losing by 14 to Detroit this coming week. Okay,
That's not ridiculous.
that is not ridiculous. Who do they play after that? I don't know who comes between them.
Commanders.
Commanders
All right, you
and
ready?
Bills.
Here, so they
no, it's
got-
not Commanders next.
They got Raiders they got
Okay,
the Raiders.
they're beating the Raiders by
beating
what?
the Raiders.
But then they got the Commanders.
Commanders
Beating
is a
the
toss-up.
Commanders.
They're losing to the Bills. Broncos
Those
is
are
a
the
toss-up.
toss-up.
They're losing to the Colts. They're losing to the Cowboys. I just named at
And then
least 4 more losses,
and then
and they're
the
2 and
next
3.
two they got is Texans and Chargers.
They're
They'll
beating
win
the
both of those
Texans, and
games.
they're
They'll
dude.
win
You
both of
just
those games.
name
CJ
dropped
Stroud is
Justin
terrible.
Herbert.
Well, to finish out their year, they got an easy schedule. They got Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, and then Raiders.
Yeah, but they'll be what 4-8, 5-7 at that point.
I'm telling you, the
They
Bills
won't be
game is a
great.
big toss-up.
It's not a toss-up. We're
It
winning
is,
that
bro.
game.
If our defense shows up like it has the past couple of weeks, we will lose.
I'm
that
always
game.
gonna pull
Not
for the
gonna lose
Bills.
that
I'm a
game.
Bills fan, but if you're
We always
looking at
dog
it,
up against
if
Mahomes,
you're-
and you're talking about the playing to the level of your opponent bullshit.
Hold on.
It
We don't
means
always
play
dog
up
up to
to.
Mahomes.
always
We don't
dog
The
always
up.
regular
dog up to
season,
Mahomes.
yes, we
He
do.
owns
Yes, we
us.
do.
It-
I said in the
season
regular
doesn't matter.
season. I
Regular
said
season
this
does
is a
not
regular
matter.
season game. What are you talking about? Yes, it does matter.
If we're
This is a
saying
regular
this,
season game.
right?
We're not talking about the postseason. We're talking about right now, regular season. Yes, it does fucking matter.
If I'm looking,
we can lose to Patrick Mahomes.
We mean regular season is right now. That's what we're playing.
If I'm looking at the Bills with the way they're playing right now
in the regular season, always.
If I'm looking at the Bills the way they're playing now, sure, I'll still give them the favorites because they're at home. But it wouldn't surprise me if the Chiefs walked into Highmark.
I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but we're winning the game. Because it's the same story every year. I'm telling you, this year is going to be no different because we're not winning the Super Bowl, which means we're going to beat them in the regular season and lose to them in the playoffs. They're going to squeak in the wild card as the 7 seed, and we're going to choke the 1 seed, and we're going to lose in the first round to them. I'm telling you right now, that's exactly what's going to happen. McDermott is going to get fired because we're going to be first-round exits this year because we're going to face Kansas City in a down year. And we're still going to fumble the 1 seed. We're losing at least, it won't be to the Chiefs, but we're probably losing like 3 more games this year.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, Philly, and 1 more.
Probably.
Do we get swept by New England? Or
absolutely
it could be an
not.
Game.
Hell no.
It could be an in-division game too.
Maybe.
Depending on the importance, the Jets game at the end of the year.
Probably not. Like, I can't.
We're finishing with no more than 5 losses.
I feel like that.
I was at 13-4, but that's not enough for the 1 seed.
We could lose to the Chiefs. I'm just saying. I wouldn't be surprised.
I didn't
if
say
the Chiefs
we couldn't,
in
but we are. We're winning the game.
I don't think it's ridiculous to say now, looking at it, that the AFC South could be the 1 seed this year.
It is. It is gonna. That's what I'm saying because they play. They play the Texans and the Titans 4 times a year. I wish I got to play C.J. Stroud. That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
We beat us.
We played we played Justin Fields though.
We played C.J. Stroud this year.
And Tua turned the ball over.
I wish I got 4 games of Cam Ward and C.J. Stroud. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. That's a lot better than 2 games of Justin Fields. So it's not. Miami is nowhere near comparable to the Houston Texans or the Tennessee Titans. Let's move on. Let's move on to Miami Dolphins, and they blow a 17-0 lead to the Carolina Panthers.
Man, look at Rico. Rico
Dowdle making it looking like the Power Rush era, 2000s Power Rush era here.
And why is McDaniels not fired yet? I'm sorry to cut you off, but McDaniels should be fired. McDaniels should have been fired 2 days ago. Honestly, he should have been fired after that game. I don't
know what they got going on up there.
He has coached a piss poor team, and is this just another tanking scandal like they did for Tua? Like, what's going on? What's going on in Miami?
Tank.
Right
anybody with a brain knew tank for Tua was stupid because nobody thought Tua would be good in the NFL.
Tank
for an Alabama quarterback.
Hear me out. The problem with the Dolphins.
Ty Simpson.
The problem with the Dolphins is the defense.
It's not just the defense. Tua was outplayed in the second half by Bryce Young.
Yeah, but I mean, Tua's looked so much better as a quarterback since that Bills game. I mean, Darren Waller just has had 2 really good games in that system, and Jalen Waddle, in the absence of Tyreek Hill, just showed the ability to be a wide receiver 1. I'm not saying it's not just like all on the defense, but the offense has looked a lot better since the Patriots game.
Did you see that game-winning drive attempt from Tua?
I didn't see the second half.
It was a 3-and-out. McDaniel punted because Tua couldn't get it past their own 30-yard line.
It was pretty bad.
It was are you a man or he came out like Jimmy G in that Super Bowl drive. That's what Tua looked like.
He overthrew Emmanuel Sanders.
He was outplayed by Bryce Young in the second half of the football game. Bryce Young will do. Wyatt's World made a TikTok about it. Bryce Young will start off a game with the dumbest fucking drive you've ever seen in your life. He'll turn the ball over twice in the first quarter. And then all of a sudden, for the rest of the game, usually when it doesn't matter, in this case, they still came back and won. He'll just make ridiculous plays. He'll rally his team on these random scoring drives. The problem is half the time it won't matter because the defense in Carolina is still pretty bad. And, Bryce Young still hasn't anything ridiculous. I don't think... the fact he's 2-3, he has the same record as the Kansas City Chiefs right now. So I think for now, for a few weeks here, Bryce Young's job is probably safe. There's other QBs whose jobs are more in danger, such as Justin Fields.
I still don't know about all that, though. But what does concern me like to the box score, if they saw that Rico had more rushing yards than Bryce Young had passing yards, they'd be concerned.
But yeah, it was concerned, but
he tore up that Miami defense. Yeah. Like that was atrocious. Like if you're averaging 9 yards a run to a guy like him, like I can only imagine how that year's going to go. And the Panthers D-line actually played good.
Yeah, the only thing Tua did in the second half was an underthrow a touchdown to a wide open Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle had to stop and come back to the ball, something we see with Tua all the time because he doesn't have an arm. I refuse to sit here, and anyone who tries to tell me that Tua has an arm does not know football. Tua does not have an arm. He can't throw a ball further than like 50 yards. Jalen Waddle has to come back to the ball. That was the only thing Tua did in the second half. And when he was in jeopardy and they gave up the lead, they had an opportunity to go tie or win that game. And he went 3 and out. And they were so deep that they didn't even try to go for it. They punted the game away. I think they ended up getting the ball back, but like with no time or timeouts or anything. So it was just they had no chance to win at that point. They were banking on that drive, and it's still piss poor management for McDaniel because, like, what are you doing? Why are you punting the ball? Like, go for it because you're already 1-3. So it's like you're going to lose your job anyway. You might as well, like, I would go out with a set of balls personally. As management, I'd actually respect that more than, tucking your tail between your ass and punting the ball and being like, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to go make a joke at the press conference about, 6'7", and it's just he's so cringe. I hate it. I hate everyone around the Miami Dolphins organization. I hate Tyreek Hill. I hate Tua. I hate Mike McDaniel. I hate Hard Rock Stadium. They all suck, and we own them. And it was good to see them choke to Bryce Young, the better Bama quarterback. I don't know if John.
What in the NFL?
No, in my fantasy land.
I was just making sure we weren't talking college. Sorry.
Oh, soon to be in the NFL, maybe. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe Bryce Young will be better than Tua. He beat him. That's all I see is a win, man.
Tua's best season wipes anything Bryce Young has done.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said in fantasy.
Bryce Young is a whole lot of it.
Tyreek Hill peaked with Tua. I know. Nate, I was talking about this with you earlier. I don't know that 2023
He won't ever
season,
win with Tua though.
He still peaked with him. I'm not hearing that. That 2023 season when we were fucking scared shitless to lose the division, that offense was insane. Tua choked in the playoffs, his only playoff appearance, of course, to Patrick Mahomes. Looked like he didn't belong there. Choked the division away too. Lost to Will Levis in an embarrassing choke of a loss. What's with Tua and losing these inferior opponents?
He didn't lose that game to Will Levis. I thought he lost it to Mason Rudolph.
No,
Will Levis got hurt.
He lost to Will Levis. You don't remember the clips of Will Levis like celebrating on the sideline and how do you not remember
I thought Will
this?
Levis got hurt that game.
No. How do you not remember this? I don't even think Mason Rudolph wasn't even the backup that year. We faced Mason Rudolph on the Steelers in the wild card round.
Think of a different game.
Yes, you are. This guy needs maybe the guy in the TikTok comments that was clowning Nate is right about needing to examine his ball knowledge.
He's got CTE from.
Nate was getting Nate. You do not need to be playing rugby, bro. I don't know what game you're thinking of, but when Will Levis came back to beat the Miami Dolphins with DeAndre Hopkins in Hard Rock Stadium in the 2023 regular season, that started the Dolphins' downfall to losing the division in the last week of the year. We faced Mason Rudolph in the wild card round on the Steelers.
Enough about
He's
that.
He's Googling to try and find what game. Yeah, let's move on.
What you know about Mac Jones taking Brock Purdy's job?
I don't know how you bench. Apparently they are
you
because
can't bench him at this point.
I checked projections, dude. No, they're starting I checked fantasy projections and Mac is projected 0 because I was gonna streamline him this week because Kyler Murray's injured. He might not play. I don't know how you bench Mac. Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy.
Oh, I am tripping. Okay, I don't know what I'm thinking of.
He's so much better.
Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy, and he looks right in a 49ers uniform. They should have drafted him initially instead of Trey Lance. Trading up for Mac Jones at the time was not ridiculous, so I don't know why. Because everyone was like, oh, you let Mac Jones fall to Bill Belichick. At the time, like, Mac Jones should have went there. A lot of people thought he would. A lot of people thought maybe he'd go to Atlanta at 4 instead of Kyle Pitts and, sit behind Matt Ryan for a year or two. He looks right in a 49ers uniform. He's balling out. He hasn't lost a game. He's better than Purdy. Who is? Trey Lance?
Trey Lance is the biggest draft bust. They should have drafted Mac Jones.
They should have.
That was the dumbest.
Balling now. Mac franchise,
the fact
baby.
That they got Purdy in the 7th is what saved them. But giving Purdy an extension basically gives Mac Jones like the cut share. Because as soon as you paid him, he's not going to do anything.
Well, yeah, Purdy's the franchise guy. As good as Mac Jones is built for that system, sure, but their investment is in Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy is also taking them to a Super Bowl and multiple NFC conference games.
Well, I think that Mac Jones could be a starting quarterback on many different teams right now.
You guys think Mac Jones is the best Bama QB in the NFL right now?
Right now, Jalen Hurts is technically a Bama QB, so no.
I'm not.
Jalen Hurts got drafted out of the Sooners.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, even I don't claim Jalen. I don't even claim
Jalen Hurts was drafted out of Bama.
Do you know what Jalen Hurts did do at Alabama though? Lose to Clemson in the national championship game. That's what he did.
What else? You know what else? Joe Burrow is the best Ohio State quarterback right now.
Yeah, see, exactly. So that's why we don't count it.
Yeah.
So the best. Yeah, the best. Mac Jones is probably the best Bama QB right now. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's the best.
I mean, because technically you're going to say Justin.
I don't see how you bench him. Mac Jones just won a game. They dominated. They came out to a 14-0 lead.
They beat the Rams. The Rams are a legit team this year
Without he already doesn't have Ayuk for the year, and they didn't have Ricky Pearsall or Jawan, and George Kittle's on IR, and they still won the game. So it's not like this is some elite system that Mac Jones was cooking in and feeding the ball to like we see with Brock Purdy all the time. Mac Jones was taking players of his caliber and winning this game on the road against a division rival. He fucking cooked this week. Kendrick Bourne. The Kendrick Bourne and Mac Jones connection from New England that had us very scared at times in the 2021 season. It was back with San Fran, and I got PTSD to when we almost lost the division that year to that team, and we would have never heard the end of it. But Mac Jones, man, Mac Jones will get an opportunity very quick somewhere else. If he doesn't, he would be a great Viking. He would be an amazing Viking. He would like Jay Jetta's QB, so we know he'd ball.
JJ McCarthy, man. I'm just giving up on it. I'm sorry, it's too early to talk JJ McCarthy, but
yeah, he's only had, Carson Wentz is booty too.
Send him to the Steelers in a year.
Nate, I don't know where that prime Carson Wentz you're always gassing up went, but leg injury doesn't make that disappear.
Oh my gosh, you don't know about Philly Carson Wentz.
He wouldn't have won MVP that
year.
Don't hype up Alex Smith. Shut up. Don't hype up Alex.
Do you know?
Yeah, we're not hyping up Alex Smith on this podcast.
Do you know who's been cooking?
Was Alex Smith a better Chief or a better Niner? Probably a better Chief. Probably a better Chief. They were winning the division before Mahomes got there.
He started that AFC West dynasty.
Do you know though who's been cooking for the Rams? There's two people. One is a wide receiver, Puka Nacua, who's now the NFL record holder
with
most
Stafford.
catches. Yes, most catches through the first 5 games of the season. NFL record for Puka.
Stafford is feeding everybody. There were people I didn't know the name of on that offense making catches on Thursday.
Dude, Stafford is on a roll right now.
Feeding my fantasy team.
I think Stafford currently is like top 3 in passing yards right now. I didn't want to just go out and say 1 because I don't know off the top of my head, but
yeah. Let me look.
Matt Stafford is leading the league in passing yards.
Yeah, he's letting that thing fly,
I saw that
bro.
this morning. Yeah. He
always
lets that thing fly.
Tutu Atwell, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams.
He lets it fly to anyone. Now, he'll never let it fly quite as much as he did when he played with the GOAT. But he's still letting it fly.
I'm not getting this conversation with you again.
I want to get in this conversation.
We're not doing this.
No, I'm not doing this.
We're doing this.
Let's not make this podcast 2 hours long, and it's just
they think I'm insane for saying Megatron's the GOAT.
For saying what?
Megatron's the GOAT, wide receiver. They think I'm insane. I know
Jerry
Fanger. I'm pretty sure
Rice.
Fanger agrees with me too. So whenever he comes on this pod, that's when I'm going to bring this
Jerry
conversation.
I think he's 2 and Jerry Rice is 1.
They said Randy Moss was
Jerry
2 and
Rice.
Kelvin Johnson was 3.
That's not true. Jerry
That's
Rice
not
is 1.
ridiculous to say that. It's not
It is
ridiculous to say
ridiculous.
that.
Megatron played
I'm-
5
we're
more
not-
years. If you give him 5 more
not-
years, he'd be the GOAT.
It still is the GOAT.
You're
It still is-
talking
you don't
about
need an
ifs.
if. You don't need an if.
Oh my god, I'm saying Jerry Rice is 1. You are fucking stupid.
You don't need an if. You don't need an
I
if.
said Jerry Rice is 1.
You can look at-
agreeing with you, and you're like,
You
no,
can look at.
you're
You can
No,
look
you
at.
just said
I'm
if.
agreeing with
You just said the word if.
Oh my god.
You just said Kelvin Johnson and if. If you give if.
Oh, rage
don't know how
bait.
to
Oh,
say
rage
Guys,
bait.
it's
Oh,
not
rage bait.
I'm
ridiculous.
agreeing
Holy
with
rage
you.
bait.
Randy Moss.
Calvin Johnson is 2.
Randy
Randy,
Moss could
no,
be the
clip it,
number
clip it,
two.
clip
that is-
it.
Randy
no.
Moss
Randy
could
Moss
be
is
the
not-
number 2.
No.
Randy Moss is not better than Kelvin. I'm not gonna say it's ridiculous. You don't need an if. You don't need an if, in my opinion, to say Megatron's the GOAT. You don't need an if. You can just take what he did.
Gosh.
You can take what he did.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
You can take what he did, and it's just
let's-
there.
Let's say no. This is ridiculous. Let's move
Fair.
on. To
I don't want a
Dynasty
segment in. Do you know what game is next? Do you know what I have to talk about of this podcast right now?
Do you want to talk about Jalen Hurts choking or the Titans game?
We don't need to talk about the Titans because we're already on time.
Okay.
There's one more game to talk about, and Jalen Hurts was let down by his team this week. Jalen Hurts was absolutely positively let down by his team this week. I don't want Saquon Barkley.
Today, Junior.
Saquon Barkley had 30 yards rushing. What happened to him having this elite running back that carried him to a Super Bowl? Where has he been all year? I'm tired of this shit. Where's his wide receiver 1? His A.J. Brown is so ego-driven that he played defense on a good Hail Mary attempt to Devontae Smith to try and win the game and tried to catch it himself and played defense and got the ball out of Devontae Smith's hands. There was a bullshit call on Bond in crunch time that ended up having the Broncos taking the lead. And man, don't get me started. Don't get me started on any. This game was not on Jalen Hurts, and they're like, "Oh, he finally lost the game. The Eagles are frauds."
It's not the first time though that we've seen the Eagles offense just go on these runs of stalling out and not.
He gave
doing
them a
anything.
they had a 17-3 lead with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The defense should slam the door in that situation. And maybe the offense could have been a little more timely. I agree with that. It was not a perfect game by Jalen Hurts by any means, but nothing was functioning on the offense. The play calling still isn't there, and I'm just not going to stand for. I'm not standing for Hurts slander, man. I'm putting my fist down. I'm not standing for it. He's still top 5. He lost one game. It's not the end of the world. They're still probably the favorites out of the NFC.
I'm not gonna sit here and just like
that game made me mad.
shit on Jalen. I'm not gonna shit on Jalen Hurts because I really didn't see much of the second half because again I was at my job.
It was,
but I do know there are multiple instances. There's
can we not say the
multiple
job
instances.
slur on this podcast, please?
There's multiple instances through the first couple weeks of the season of the Eagles' offense just randomly like stalling and not doing anything. There was literally the one time, and again, I'm not here to shit on Jalen Hurts, but there's the one time where he didn't even complete a pass in the second half or something. It's just the Eagles in general have been really funky this year. That I'll leave it at that. I don't know, man. The Lions are coming.
They have been.
The
Lions are
Eagles
on the
need
come up.
Pibble in the backfield. The Eagles need
Pibble.
Pibble in the backfield.
Hebo.
I do think though what really was like interesting to me. I don't know if you've seen the giant like wideout view of the Hail Mary, but Jalen Hurts started sprinting after the ball he threw.
Bro, he's got main character syndrome. There's like he had to do that for views or something.
No, there was a good throw. AJ Brown played defense.
No, but why is Jalen Hurts running after the ball?
He wanted. Okay. That maybe
Running
he
back-
wanted to see.
running
I don't know. Is
back.
that
He's a
something?
running
Do,
back. No, I'm kidding.
do QBs do that? But maybe he has to be running back because Saquon just
No.
is playing like
Quarterbacks
ass.
don't do that. Quarterbacks don't do that.
I don't know.
I'm not
I think
shocked.
I'm most salty that he lost the game to Bo Nix
Hear me
because Bo
out.
Nix is
Hear me
terrible.
out. Hear me out. Who's shocked that someone gets an absolute bag handed to them in the offseason and all of a sudden they just don't do anything? There's a guy by the name of like Christian Benford. He
We were
plays
talking
for the
about Chris
Bills.
Jones earlier. He does the same
Oh
thing.
yeah,
He's the laziest
Chris
player
Jones
in
is
the
having
NFL.
it. Like that's what I'm saying. It's not shocking me, but it is kind of shocking me because Yeah, no, it is shocking me because Saquon just had an insane rushing year. And if we're going to talk about one of the two elite running backs that does, like, not to drag him into the conversation, that's also had a down year, it's not because of contracts, it's just Derrick Henry. I don't know where Derrick Henry's been this whole season.
His confidence
since week 1.
And he's also just, dude, he's 8. Guys, he's what, 31, 32?
About.
He's a running back, and he's in his 30s. Derrick Henry is not a, like, all-time great that's going to evade age. He's not.
Age matters.
Age matters for most running backs. It didn't matter for Frank Gore, but that's why Frank Gore is higher all-time than Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So the running backs aren't immune to age. They're quite the opposite. So that's what we saw with that. I don't know what else to... Hello, Torn?
I'm sorry, you can cut that out. I said that. You can cut that. I'm sorry. I said that just to dick around.
What did you say?
I said age matters.
Oh, okay. Well,
Nini Bros is being edited next to me.
Does anyone else have anything to say about the Philadelphia? Because I don't know what else. This game makes me mad. I don't want to talk about it. The Broncos played fine. It wasn't. They didn't even have a great game.
Spit it out, buddy.
Facts.
I'll just say,
I say we get out. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say good job for the Broncos. I was just gonna say good job on the Broncos for not just like not showing up in the second half. I guess just like for not giving up on the game.
Yeah, right. We wanted the Broncos to beat the Eagles.
Who in the hell is we?
Who is we? The Eagles to
it didn't matter because now we lost too. So it wasn't. There's not even a positive in the game for it being like, oh, now the Bills are the only undefeated team. At least that's nice. No, they lost for no reason. My king, Jalen Hurts, lost for no reason.
Actually, no. I was split. I really wanted the Broncos to win just because if the Chiefs lost, it's better for the AFC. But I wouldn't have minded an Eagles win because I took them in my pick'em.
But before we get on to the next topic,
this was the worst pick'em week we've had.
But before we get on to the next topic, can I just talk about how caked up Evan is behind me?
Okay, we're getting on behind me.
Can we talk about Cam Ward?
We're cutting Titans Cardinals. We don't have time for it.
All right,
Cam Ward got his first. It wasn't a special game. Cam Ward got his first win.
Got the win over the
Cardinals. Hear me out. Cam Ward is better than JJ McCarthy.
Oh, that's not ridiculous. Grass is green.
It's not ridiculous. Exactly. It's not ridiculous.
Right, that's not Ivan. That's a cold take, bro.
No.
Yes.
With the way Torrin is talking,
JJ's ass. What do you mean? Cam Ward is absolutely better than JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy is gonna be good, man. Trust me.
Oh, okay, he's trolling. All right.
All right, then there's no point in me saying.
Anyway, it was just a stupid. It was a stupid, typical. Kyler Murray played a solid game. Cam Ward played a solid game down the stretch. Really put his team in a position to win. I loved that. That game-winning drive was very non-rookie like. Like Cam Ward, a lot of rookies won't step up in that situation. He did. It looked great. He's throwing to bums still. Calvin Ridley finally made an impact play on that drive. DeMarcado, fumbles. Gannon gets fined $100,000 because he not only yells at but strikes his player. He's a thug. I wanted to talk about the game a little more, but we're on time, so we're gonna make a cut here, and the listeners on YouTube will be able to see this. We're getting into a tier list of the current NFL teams, so we will see you there. Okay, we are here at the tier list. Usually we're gonna put this as a segment when we don't really have anything else really to do. Next week we're gonna have a fun segment. I'm gonna keep it a secret. I'll tell the guys, but I want to keep it a secret on the pod. We have here Super Bowl favorites, playoff teams, potential wild cards, missing playoff teams, number one pick contention. This is a template I found on Google.
Young but intriguing. Young but intriguing.
Young but intriguing was among one of the tiers that was cut. Okay.
That's actually ridiculous.
Okay. No, all right. I don't want to rage bait or be unserious, but if you guys have hot takes about teams, feel free to share them. And yeah.
Okay.
New Orleans Saints.
They're one of the better 1-4 teams, but they're not doing anything special this year.
Yeah, no. Miami Dolphins
are missing the playoffs.
They're missing playoffs. I don't think they're number one pick contenders. They're gonna string together some scrappy wins. They're going to figure it out in some way. I know they just lost the Panthers. I know they're 1-4, but it's the Miami Dolphins, and because they're going to always stay in mediocrity, they're not getting anything close to the number one pick.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out about
Ravens are missing the playoffs.
I think it's potential wild card.
Hear me out about
Lamar's gonna come back, and the Ravens are just gonna miss the playoffs. I think.
Missing. Okay, we'll put them above the. I would say number one pick potentially.
They're not.
I think
they're not
really,
gonna
really
be number
bad.
one pick.
I don't know.
I don't think they're worse than other 1-4 teams.
Lamar might not play again this week. They'll be 1-5.
I think. Yeah, that's true. And he's ruining my.
They play the Rams. They're losing anyway. But
now, speaking of guys in contention for the number one
now,
pick,
here's the guy.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Here's the team that needs a quarterback.
Joe Flacco is
The Cincinnati Bengals finally have a QB named Joe with the Super Bowl ring.
If he can do it with the Browns,
Joe Burrow has a natty ring, buddy.
Are the Bengals worse than the Saints? I think they are.
No.
At the moment?
What?
At the moment?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They won't be soon. They won't be soon.
But this is at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
This
but if
is
Joe
at the
Flacco
moment.
can turn around,
They're worse.
if
This
he
is
can
as of
turn
week
around
5.
the Browns, he
The
can
Saints
turn
have
around the
played
Bengals.
better.
And I put
The
money on it.
Saints.
I put money on
He
it.
did not turn the Browns around. What are you talking about, Torn?
He did not. He was
Joe Flacco did
terrible
not
this
turn
year,
the Browns
dude.
around.
He got
What are you on about?
When they made
2 years, sure. 2 years ago, Joe Flacco was awesome for a couple weeks,
Hey,
and then
they got absolutely
shit his
mollywopped.
pants in the wild
He could
card
be-
round.
he could
Shit
be good.
himself.
He could be good.
If you're going to talk about Browns quarterbacks and turning the team
we're not
around,
doing
let's go
this.
look at Baker Mayfield.
We're not
Let's go
doing
look
this,
at Baker
bro.
Mayfield.
We're not doing this. They are.
Baker's good
No,
now.
Joe Flacco is not turning
He
around
took
the
the Browns to the playoffs
Bengals,
and beat the Steelers. You know, the Steelers that faded towards the back end of that 2020 season. But
It's almost as if they started like 10-0.
It's almost as if they were massively overrated.
And then they lost to the Bills.
It's almost like
They lost
You know what?
almost
You know
like
what?
they
You know
were
what? Fade is
low
also
ranked
massive.
team.
We are the most
Broncos.
unserious podcast. We're the
I
most
think the
unserious
Denver Broncos are
Potential wild card.
I think
Playoff
they're
team.
I think they're
No,
playoff
playoff
team.
team.
I think
Playoff team.
Wait,
if the state of
wait,
the NFL right
speaking of
now with the
massive-
Chargers charging, the Broncos might just win the AFC West.
Great defense. Their
With that
defense is elite.
defense, man.
speaking,
With that defense, they might
the way,
just
guys-
And
win.
when Bo Nix plays
That
a capable
defense,
football game,
J.K. Dobbins, bro, they might just win that division, man.
speaking of massive memes and such, the next Giants team, Malik Neighbors, has to have a certain
Knee surgery. All
when
right.
knee
The Giants-
surgery is tomorrow.
The Giants
They-
are,
missing the
Missing the
playoffs.
playoffs.
yeah, they're.
Jackson Dart.
Are they better
think
than the
they're-
Miami
I think
They're at the
No.
bottom. They're at the bottom.
they're at the bottom.
Cam Scat Tebow
The
wants me
Minnesota
to-
Vikings.
They're missing the playoffs.
Potential
I think-
wild
I think
card.
they're
Potential wild card.
Dude, I don't think John. I don't know, man. I think they're just missing. I
Well,
think they're just missing.
it's a tough thing. I know they have Carson Wentz right now. JJ McCarthy is also mid, but at the same
Justin
time, I don't know.
Jefferson.
I feel like
Good
Kevin
enough
O'Connell
defense.
can find. I feel like Kevin O'Connell can find a way to get this team around, and I
Ben
think
Jones
they
will be
are
back.
potential. I think they are a potential wild card. It can go both
I
ways,
agree
but
with
I
that,
think
potential wild card.
they go potential wild card.
Okay, they're going to end up being at the bottom of that tier then. Dude,
Rams are going to be a playoff team.
Super
I
Bowl
think they're Super
contenders.
Bowl favorites, man. Yeah, well, it should be
I
Super
love that
Bowl
we're on the
contenders.
same-
It should be Super Bowl contenders, not favorites.
I like that we're on the same wavelength there.
Yeah, they are Super Bowl contenders, man.
The only thing I think the Rams could do to not make the Super Bowl is play bad defense.
Yeah, they're making the NFC Championship game at worst.
Yeah.
Well, not at worst.
Buccaneers.
but-
I think.
Where would you put
the
Tampa?
Buccaneers. I'd put them in front of the Broncos.
Tampa is.
Tampa's really good this year,
winning,
dude.
Tampa's winning on game-winning
Look at
drives,
Baker.
and that's what you need
Look
in the
at
playoffs.
Baker.
I think Tampa.
Am I crazy?
Also a
Am I
Super Bowl
crazy?
contender.
Super Bowl contender?
I think they're a Super
No,
Bowl
you're not
contender.
crazy.
That's
I'd
not
also go
ridiculous.
That's not
Super Bowl
ridiculous.
contender.
Baker's
I think the
playing
only
Super Bowl
thing-
line.
Rams
Only
or Bucks,
thing-
though.
Rams. At the
Rams.
moment, Rams.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the only thing, again, just like the Rams, the defense is really the only thing for the Bucks right now. I think that would cause them to lose a tight playoff game.
Bro, Baker Mayfield is just that guy. He's Mr. Clutch right now. With how many game-winning drives he's got,
Abuka,
third
Mike
straight-
Evans coming back.
Abuka.
There's
Speaking-
Godwin.
Yeah.
Speaking
straight
of
Super Bowl
young and
contender.
intriguing, the Detroit Lions.
They're not young. They're
Top
of the playoff
third
team.
straight.
Playoff
What?
team.
Dude.
Yeah.
I think they're Super
potential
Bowl
wild card. Potential wild card.
I think
What?
I think they're, dude. Okay. Listen, I'm the one who said they regressed, and I think they're Super Bowl contenders.
No, I think they're a playoff team.
I think
they're a playoff team.
I think the
I'll put them at the top. I'll put them at the top.
Again,
every team left.
Again,
Question,
it's
I have a
another.
question.
Again, it's a young season, so really,
Yeah.
it's a young season. But I say right now they are a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question. So
I thought
playoff
Super
team
Bowl.
being they'll make the playoffs. So does that mean what if we think that a Super Bowl team, like a Super Bowl contender team, is better than a playoff team? Did we still I think the Lions could make the Super Bowl, but I don't see them beating a team like the Rams or the
I
Bucks.
do,
That's why I put them in top of the
dude.
playoffs.
Oh, we're gonna get a lot of heat for that, but all right, I'll go
I'm
with what
fine
the pod
putting them
says.
at the bottom of the Super Bowl if you
Hear
want,
me
but
out.
I think the
We can leave it there. We'll be hot because this is gonna be hot next. I don't know how you got. I think the Bears.
I think they're like fringe.
They're either
Maybe
top of
fringe.
potential
Maybe
wild card. If
fringe.
not,
I'll
I might.
say this.
I could put them in playoff teams. I don't think that's
I'll
ridiculous.
say
to
this,
say
if you're gonna put the Bears in playoff teams, you better move the Lions up, and if you put the Bears in potential wild card, you might need to move the Vikings down.
I'll do that because I don't like the Vikings in potential wild card. They're not doing shit. We'll put the Bears in
The-
potential wild card, and they'll be
the
towards the top. Man, they're gonna be really
49ers.
good. Rome Odunze has arrived. Caleb Williams has arrived. Ben Johnson has arrived.
Yes, this has been Caleb's best year so far.
49ers are a playoff team. I don't think
Playoff team. They're not better than the Lions, though.
The Eagles are Super Bowl
If they start
contenders.
Mac Jones like they should be,
If then
it'd be a lot more of an interesting
They still wouldn't be
conversation.
a Super Bowl contender, but they're
No.
a playoff
But
team
they're-
regardless. They're a
yeah.
good team. They're a really good team this year. And we
Eagles.
wrote them off last year with a lot of injury and all that, but the Niners are here. They're always here. They always seem to have a down year and then multiple good years, and it just kind of repeats. Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl
Philadelphia
contenders.
Super
Eagles.
I'm
Bowl
not hearing
contenders,
anything else
100%.
I think the
Where
Eagles
is
right
Super Bowl
in the
contenders?
middle.
Okay.
Well, no, they have to be at the top. They've beaten both these teams.
I was gonna
have to
say
be at
they
the top.
beat both these teams, man.
I forgot about the Rams game.
And
for
they're
a
the
minute.
defending fucking champions. So we have to
I
give them
forgot
the
that-
respect. The Raiders are a
Well,
number
if
one
we're
pick.
going-
contention.
In
I think
my
they're
opinion,
in front of the Saints and Bengals, though.
Okay, that's fair. They're number one pick contention though. Nate, we need to hear what you have to say about Geno Smith after calling him top 10.
dude, I would put the Saints ahead of the Raiders.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
I don't think so, dude. I don't think that's
Yes,
that
it is.
ridiculous.
That is
No.
ridiculous.
No, it's
The
not.
Raiders are
You were
not
just
that.
pushing an agenda saying that Geno Smith is a top 10
Yeah,
quarterback.
that's what we need to
Yeah.
hear. You've been
And
ducking
he's
that for
played like
quite.
shit.
You've been ducking that
He's-
for weeks,
he's-
man.
No, I have. I've admitted he's played like ass. He's not currently a top 10 quarterback.
He's not top 20 right now.
He's
Maybe
he's,
top 20. Probably top 20.
he-
Probably like fringe
he's
20.
arguably the
I'd
worst
say it's like
out
18
of
or 19.
qualified out of quarterbacks that have started every single game this year. I would say Geno Smith has probably been the worst.
He has 9 interceptions, dude. Like it's bad.
Yeah, like
9
I would
already?
argue.
He's got 9.
I would
picks.
make.
He had 2
I would
last
make
week.
the argument. I would make the argument that the Saints should be ahead of the Raiders.
I don't think so.
I
That's
think
fine.
the Saints. I think the Saints
The Raiders
have
are a
played
better
tighter.
team than the Saints.
The
Raiders
they
will
are
win.
both
Ass.
have looked not bad for a 1-4 team. Again, they've
The
been
Raiders
good
will.
for a
Here's
1-4 team.
my thing. The Raiders will sort out their shit and piece together some scrappy wins. Meanwhile, towards the end of the season, the Saints will embrace the tank, put Tyler Shuck on the field, and lose out. That's my.
Rattler hasn't been terrible though.
They're still gonna bank on the young guy that they took second round of the draft once they get to a.
They
point,
took over Shador Sanders
which is just ridiculous. Absolutely.
and Dylan Gabriel.
Atrocious. Dylan Gabriel sucks, but
It don't matter. It don't matter. He's still better than Tyler Shuck. Did we not see the combine video?
Well, yeah, Tyler Shuck is just really bad. But I'm putting
Nice hiccups, baby.
the Green Bay Packers are a playoff
Packers are a
team.
playoff team.
Playoff team.
Listen,
put them
I
at
know
the
they beat.
bottom,
I
you
know
know?
they beat Detroit, but they are not better.
They're
than
not better
Detroit.
than the Lions at the moment.
I don't even know if they're better.
I
Than
say-
they're better than San Fran.
I'd say they're better than San Fran.
barely.
San Fran
Barely.
owns them in the playoffs.
Yeah, that is true. So if they run into them, they're gonna lose. But
The
Hopefully.
Washington Commanders.
playoff team.
This has been a weird team
Potential
because
wild
of.
card.
Really? Okay,
I
can
think this
see
has
that.
been a weird
I can
team
see that.
because of
They're on the same.
injuries.
Yeah, no, you're right. Potential wild card. They are on the same tier as the Bears. You're right.
I would put it
They're better than them though,
top
because
just because
they've
of
been there.
experience.
Yeah, they've been
Yes.
there, so that makes sense.
Cardinals.
Cardinals will.
I think
Cardinals will miss the playoffs.
Miss the playoffs.
But they're probably.
But they're not a number one pick.
They're at the top.
They're in front of the Ravens, but
We need to sort this tier off for a little bit. Do you really think the Ravens are a worse team than Minnesota?
Yes. At the moment, yes. I think the Dolphins. Where would you put the Dolphins in that tier? I think
they're fine where they are.
I think they're happy.
They're 1-4 right now. They're fine where they are. Their record is really bad. But okay, Cardinals, I'm fine with putting at top missing playoffs. I think they'll just be like 8-9, 9-8. No, like just mediocre season with promise. Probably fail to capitalize on that promise yet again. At least Marvin Harrison Jr.'s had a couple good games after literally crying when he finally found the end zone. But yeah, I don't. Their division is so stacked. It's the best division in football right now. So I don't see a world where I don't think all four of those teams make the playoffs, and the three.
If they wanted to compete in the division, they should have beat Seattle.
Yeah, the three above them are making it.
So. Steelers are potential wild cards.
No, they're making the playoffs.
No.
The Steelers.
Yeah, they're winning the division.
They have to.
I forget.
I'm putting it at the bottom though. Yeah, they're getting a free pass.
They're
getting a free path. I forgot about that. They're getting.
I forget how ass the AFC North is.
The AFC North is atrocious.
Obviously, the Steelers themselves, in my opinion, haven't looked anything special. Anyways,
Mike Tomlin will go 10-7 instead of 9-8 this time. Oh, scary!
They're the most healthy team.
Improving the record.
Yeah, they get to lose in the first round at home this year instead of on the road. It'll be great.
Buffalo Bills.
Super Bowl contenders.
Super Bowl contenders.
We're right here.
You think we
put us below the Rams? Put us below the Rams.
Fair, fair enough. Fair enough. Rams are a better team than us right now.
Okay, the Falcons.
No, we don't need to say them. We already talked about the Bill. The Falcons are potential wild card. They're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it. But they have a better chance than these teams. No, they're not.
I think they're worse than the Bears.
They're not better than the Bears. They're not better than the Bears. Hell no.
The Bears.
The Falcons, I love
back
the
in
Falcons. I love Bijan Robinson. Their future is hopefully bright. But
the
Seahawks,
the NFC is too stacked. The NFC is too stacked. The Falcons aren't winning their division. The Falcons, they're not going to make it, but they're better than these teams, so we have to put them in that potential wild card. Seattle's are a playoff team. What? Missing the playoffs?
What? They're a playoff team.
They are a playoff team, dude.
Wait, no, potential. Sorry. Potential wild cards.
I think they're a playoff team. If not top of potential wild card.
Well, they're not winning their division.
Their division is stacked.
They're gonna be.
It's early. It's early.
Ryan McMahon just hit a bomb to tie the game 1-1. Sorry.
Okay.
You forget though, it's only week 5. There's so much season left.
I understand.
I'll put them at the top of. Well, Seattle will find a way to lose some games. I'll put them. I was ready to put them in playoff teams, but the Patriots are a potential wild card team as well.
Yeah, I think they're better than the Falcons. Are they better than the Bears? Maybe.
No.
Maybe. I'd say maybe.
Okay.
But
Here's actually why I think the AFC's path to the playoffs is easier, so I'll put them above them.
The AFC's path is much easier compared to
the AFC's path to the playoffs is a lot easier.
But
we're putting the Browns at the top of Super Bowl contenders, right?
Oh yeah, we need a Browns tier up here, bro. No, okay. Are the Browns better than yeah, they're better than the Bengals, dude. They're better than the Saints. That defense, man.
Yeah.
They're better than the Saints.
Quinshon Judkins.
Judkins as well. This is one of the brighter future Browns teams we've seen in a while. And I don't use that lightly because the Browns never have a bright future. But
I would have thought that back in 2022 with Mayfield and everything, but
give Shador a shot. You won't be disappointed. No, you probably will be disappointed, but you have your best chance to win. The Texans are missing the playoffs. I don't care.
I agree with that. I think they're in front of the Ravens. Maybe in front of the Vikings.
They just beat. Oh, yeah, that's tough. Are the Texans and Vikings are like the same type of team, same level of QB play right now. I'm not moved by CJ Stroud blowing out Cooper Rush and the worst defense in the league. I'm not.
I'd give it to the Vikings.
I'd say put them behind the Vikings.
I think the Vikings.
Now the Chiefs are potential wild cards.
I agree with.
Well, the Chiefs are a playoff team, dude.
Not yet.
That's not yet. It's not ridiculous to put them at the top of potential wild card. They're 2-3. Right
I think that's fair. Because,
they're not. They're not in a. They're
not
not in a playoff spot right now.
Their stretch. There could be a realistic time where they are like 5-7, and it's not ridiculous.
I think they will be. Yeah, like 5-7, 4-8 is possible.
Like, they could 100% win out after that and go 10-7, but even then,
and they could be really good. But there's the fact they could also be really bad, and it's like not ridiculous to say that is like they have to be top.
I understand, and I also understand that the Steelers are going to win their division, but it just sickens me to have to see the Steelers above the Chiefs right now.
It's unfortunate, but
it is unfortunate. Yeah, the Steelers have a gimme up there. But yeah, you gotta realize that
the Cowboys.
The Chiefs have not been the Chiefs this year.
The Chiefs weren't the Chiefs maybe through like the first 3 weeks.
Dallas Cowboys are potential wild card, unfortunately, just because the NFC is so stacked.
I think they're behind.
I think they're behind the Packers.
Maybe
No, they're not a playoff team, John.
Playoff team? What? No. I think they're in between Seattle and Washington.
I was gonna say I put them here. I like Dallas. The problem is Dallas owns Washington, so they're gonna beat them. And so that's probably where I'd put them. That's probably a safe spot. The Chargers are a playoff team. Chargers are a playoff team.
I think they're a playoff team. I think
they're here.
And they're better than the Steelers.
Yeah.
Oh, they're better than.
I agree
I'll put them above Denver.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
I think they'll win. I think they'll win the division. Denver could.
It's not ridiculous.
I think Denver may have more. Denver and Kansas City have about the same argument to win the division.
I know who's winning the division.
Not Geno top 10 Smith. That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous. But right now, I think it's the Chargers. And right now, the Chargers have been the best in that division.
New York Jets are a Super Bowl contender.
New York Jets are at the bottom of the list.
They're at the bottom, and then I'd put the Panthers.
Are they worse than the Bengals?
Panthers.
Nate, they are 0-5. Yes, they are worse than the Bengals.
Put the Panthers above the Jets.
No.
The Panthers are not worse than the Bengals, dude. They have 2 wins this year.
I low-key think it's not ridiculous for me to put them like in between the Saints and Browns, or maybe even higher.
Dude, we're acting okay. Hold up. We're acting like the Panthers and Raiders are going to be on like the same trajectory.
I don't think the Panthers are going to be a number. No, I think the Panthers could be like
they might be here missing playoffs, but if anything, they'd be top
at the bottom. I'm going to put them here. I'm going to respect the fact that they're 2-3. And I'm going to put them at the bottom of the missing playoff team.
Before I'd put the Panthers, dude.
They are a number 1 pick contention.
Yeah.
Titans are, and they're in between the nobody on it. They're better than the Jets.
Hear me out.
They're better than the Titans are better than the Bengals.
If the Titans are smart, they do what the Bengals don't do. They draft an offensive lineman and protect Cam Ward.
Yeah. I would put the Titans here. I do think Titans are better than Cincinnati.
They're more focused on skill players.
The Titans' pass rush would devour Cincinnati.
Oh, these two teams are going to be very interesting.
My God.
They're both playoff teams.
They're playoff teams. The Colts are so good this year, bro.
They're both playoff teams.
The Colts are honestly the top, but they're in the top 3 of playoff teams. Maybe top 2. Maybe top 2.
I gotta put them here, man. I can't put I can't in good conscience put them above the Green Bay.
That Colts Jags game is gonna be cinema. It's gonna be such a good game.
They play each other twice in December. It will decide both division and coach of the year, probably.
I'm just saying, dude.
And the Jags are winning it.
Look at what Daniel Jones did against the Rams. I don't think you can put.
Yeah. Meanwhile, these guys just beat Mahomes.
Those guys are so weird. I have zero faith in Trevor Lawrence.
I do too. I do too. No, Jacksonville's making the playoffs. I don't think they'll do anything when they get there, but they're making the postseason.
They're below the Broncos, above the Steelers.
That's not ridiculous.
That's valid.
That's not ridiculous to say that.
It's valid.
I think actually no. Or maybe above Denver. Honestly.
I trust. Division. I think based off last year, I think if those 2 quarterbacks, I trust Bo Nix to turn it around in the Broncos offense.
That might be ridiculous, dude. I think Bo Nix is I think Bo Nix is so sorry, bro. Bo Nix is sorry as hell.
Mind is so good.
He didn't have a bad year last year. He's just doing it himself right now.
I have all the faith in Liam Cohen, man.
Liam Cohen, his offensive mind
Trevor
is just
Lawrence.
so good. I think that he can transform like any QB right now.
Yeah, and I know Sean Payton
Dude.
can too, but it's like,
Bro, look at what he did with Baker last year.
yeah.
That Buccaneers offense was lethal.
So
And
it's
he's
just
doing it
literally
now
we're
again,
debating.
But his quarterback is Trevor
It doesn't
Lawrence.
really
You
matter.
cannot tell me. You cannot tell me.
Never. Bo Nix looked better last year than Trevor Lawrence.
And Bo Nix looks
Yeah, but
terrible
that's
this year.
So does
not the
Trevor
case.
Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence looks terrible this year as well.
Yeah, but
Travis
the Jags
Etienne-
are
Trevor
they just
Lawrence
beat the
looks. Trevor
Chiefs.
Lawrence looks better than Bo Nix this year.
They just beat the Chiefs, and Liam Cohen is.
I was gonna say they just beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Like a
They
great
just beat the
coach.
Kansas
He's
City
like a
Chiefs,
great
and they
coach.
have the much easier division
Oh my
ahead of them.
gosh.
You can't argue that, bro. No fucking.
Jacksonville will
gosh.
finish higher than Denver this year. They'll have a better record.
Let's move on to pick'ems, folks.
Yeah, Nate, this is not Nate. Nate, do you really think Denver will finish with a better record than? I'm not saying it's insane, but Jags will probably have a better record.
For the AFC West, if I were going to take two teams to win the AFC West, it's either going to be the Broncos or it's going to be the Chiefs.
You are hoeing the Chargers, man. Oh my God, they already beat Kansas City.
The Chargers are going to charger.
They already beat Kansas City though. How is you're giving more credit to Bo Nix than Justin Herbert? That's just malpractice. And I don't like her. I'm not the big Herbert guy, but that's actually malpractice. I don't know. Anyway, we don't have too much to say about pick'ems. Here's a final look at the tier list: Eagles, Rams, Bills, Bucks, and Super Bowl contenders. Lions, Packers, Colts, Niners, Chargers, Jags, Broncos, Steelers, and playoff teams. Chiefs, Seahawks, Cowboys, Commanders, Patriots, Bears, Falcons, and potential wildcards. Cardinals, Vikings, Texans, Ravens, Dolphins, Giants, Panthers, and missing playoffs. And Raiders, Browns, Saints, Titans, Bengals, and Jets in number one pick contention. I repeated that for the Spotify listeners. They can't see this on the screen. We're going to move on to the most cooked pick'ems week we've had yet on the podcast. We're going to make a quick cut, and we'll see you guys there. All right. We are here with the pick'ems. The most cooked week we've ever had. 6-8, 7-7, 6-8, 6-8. A lot of teams were
won.
6-7 at a certain point going into the Chiefs game, and then we
all got the wrong choice for the last two games.
I just realized. Oh, okay, good. John did his pick'ems. Thank God, John did his pick'ems because I didn't remind him this week to do his pick'ems, so I got kind of scared that he may or may not have done them. But
Don't worry, chat.
this is actually the first time I've looked at the pick'ems, so I'm gonna run through and see what we got here. We all have the Eagles on Thursday night. We all have the Broncos on the Sunday morning game. We all got the Colts over the Cardinals. We all got the Chargers over the Dolphins. We all have the Patriots over the Saints. Nate Harrington. Why? I don't think it's ridiculous. I know I was talking about maybe taking them as well. But let's hear out the Browns over the Steelers. The land.
Okay, I think Dylan Gabriel doesn't have to do a lot, and he didn't look as terrible as I thought he would be last week. He's a game manager. That's all he's got to do. They have a good running game with Quinshad Judkins, right? A star tight end in Harold Fannin, playing a divisional game that's going to be really scrappy.
I don't know. Star tight end is a little bit of a reach because I was checking the box
Future
score.
star tight end.
I was checking the box score. Yeah, because I know you've been really high on him. He has not been amazing.
He was really hot at the
he's been
beginning of the
solid.
season.
Yeah, he played like 2 good games, and since then he has 25, 24, and 13 yards.
I'm just really high on him. He was a really good college prospect playing, although in a weaker conference. But I just think with him and Njoku, I think he's eventually gonna get the edge and give him a capable quarterback. Maybe Shedeur Sanders could unlock more of him. I don't know. Joe Flacco was earlier. I just think though that the Browns are gonna come away with the scrappy game. I think they have I think they have a slight better edge on defense. I think Myles Garrett is gonna feast against the Steelers.
Sorry, I just saw Nate change his pick in real time.
Oh yeah, he's
too. And then I looked. Whoa!
We'll get to it. Nate, I almost
it.
took him. Nate, I almost took the Browns. We'll get to this.
We'll get to it.
We got everyone took the Cowboys. We are split. John and Torin going with the Jags. Me and Nate are going with the Seattle Seahawks. I personally thought 5-1 Jacksonville Jaguars was a little bit ridiculous. And I think the NFC West race will remain really tight. So Seattle's only losses are like very close games, high scoring games. So I think I like Seattle here. I think it'll be a high scoring game. But I think Sam Darnold will outplay Trevor Lawrence in a clutch time moment, and it's going to be a close game. So
I think the thing with the Seahawks is their week 1 loss was kind of fluky to me. I just think they weren't all on the same page.
No, it was Sam Darnold was a little rusty. It was a game-losing like strip sack fumble from Nick Bosa, who's not even playing anymore. And then since then, they've looked really good. And then this week lost an extremely close, high-scoring game to just the best clutch time team this year in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another game-winning drive from Baker Mayfield. He just looks unstoppable, and that's why the Bucs are Super Bowl contenders, because he looks unstoppable in the most important stages of the game. So I think with the strength of schedule the Seahawks have had and the division race that they need to try and hold on to, well, I think, getting them too far above 500 is is probably unrealistic. It's even more realistic, in my opinion, to see a 5-1 Trevor Lawrence. I don't know how you guys feel about the Jags. I'm going to give you the floor, but because I'm curious. I don't know who the favorite is. Probably Jags because they're at home, but I'm not sure.
When you look back like 6 weeks ago and say the Jags could be 5-1, everybody would think you're crazy. But Liam Cohen, what he's done with that culture and just made that team what it is. Do I think Trevor Lawrence is great? No. Do I think he's good? But the thing is, I still think that they're capable of winning those games. Like you saw it last Monday night. It wasn't a great showing. Did he get a little lucky? Sure. DTJ, with that play, I think it was clutch as hell. And same with Mahomes throwing that 2-yard line pick six. It's just luck of the draw. But I still think the Jags come out on top.
It's fair. Anything to add, John?
I don't know. I just feel like after last game, and I do like Liam Cohen, I just feel like somehow, some way, the Jags will do it. And move on.
It wouldn't shock me if they do. The Jags defense is really physical, and they are just all around really good.
It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a great game.
I don't know who's gonna guard JSN.
Never mind.
That's
that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be Hunter? Is it going to be
Travis
Campbell?
Hunter would get cooked by JSN. Absolutely.
Especially okay. All right, time management wise, do you think Hunter should play more defense or more offense this upcoming week?
Defense.
Oh, just this week?
For this game.
They gotta do everything they can to try and stop that Seattle pass attack. So probably defense.
I agree.
Although they also need to take advantage. They need to take advantage of the Seattle secondary that seems to be floundering, and put Travis Hunter out there, who's been making big plays on the offense. He played a lot of snaps on both sides last week and was high graded on both sides of the field. He was top 5 for in PFF grade for the defensive side and offensive side of the ball. So play him on both for sure. He's really he's starting to really blossom right now within these last couple of weeks, which makes me glad a team like Jacksonville took him, because he'd probably, although I still think Cleveland won the trade, he'd be being wasted on the Browns right now. So yeah, but definitely if you have to prioritize one, I'd say defense, because you have to do everything you can to try and stop the Seattle pass attack, or Sam Darnold's going to throw for 400 yards.
I think what is so good about the move too is obviously this is going to help Jacksonville obviously in the now and future, but you look at the Jags, who really needed another corner and a wide receiver. I mean, it fits Travis Hunter perfectly, because if he gets drafted by the Browns, I think he's more of just a receiver. With the Browns' 3 corners that they have, and Emerson Jr., Denzel Ward, and Greg Newsome, I think they're fine at corner. Obviously, injuries usually derail that corner room, but I think those are 3 solid corners to have if you're Cleveland.
All right. Next game, we all took the Rams over the Ravens. We're split again. I'll just go over what we all have in favor real quick. We all have Packers over Bengals. We all have Bucks over 49ers, which is going to be a good game. But I think because I mainly just picked the Bucks because I think the Niners are starting Brock Purdy.
We all have Bills over Falcons. We're split on the rest of the games. This is an even split. John and Nate have the Titans.
Me and Torn have the Raiders. I literally just took the home team. I didn't overthink it. I just took the home team.
I think the Raiders are better than the Titans.
I think they're a slightly better team. I think Max Crosby will eat that O-line alive. I think Genty will get going in that. I think they'll just rely a lot on rushing because Gino's been turning the ball over, and Genty will have a really good game. And it'll probably be a really low scoring game too. At that, I do think so. But I just took the team that is more veteran poised. Cam Ward winning 2 games in a row right now seems kind of unlikely. But I also mainly just was like, I just took the home team. That was pretty much it.
My look going into it was to see, because I took the Cardinals last week. I was going to say if the Titans were 0-4, this would be the week that they upset a team. Right? This would be the week that I still think the Titans are good. I think Cam Ward's good enough to squeak out a win against a team like the Raiders. And with the way that Gino's kind of playing in terms of panicked football, I mean, they're coming off a devastating loss to the Colts. So, I mean, I think this is a great opportunity for Cam Ward to go out there and, kind of shock the world a little bit.
I could see it. I don't think that's ridiculous.
Now, Nate.
This happened like not even
Nate
5 minutes
switched his
ago.
pick live. We originally all took Detroit. And I think he's just trying to stand on business with his take from earlier. Maybe he's trying to, not jinx us with bad luck of talking down on the almighty ref-favored Chiefs. But Nate has the Chiefs over the Detroit Lions. I'd love to hear it. I don't think it's insane. I do think the Lions will win by 14 points if I had to bet money on it, but
it wouldn't surprise me if the Lions won. But coming off a game that you probably should have won against Jacksonville, more than likely. I mean, Mahomes gave them they absolutely should have won that game, hands down.
Refs and Mahomes gave them chances.
You are, even for as good as you've been playing the last 2 weeks, you are you're now 1-1. You've looked a lot better than you did at the beginning of the year. This is the game that you need Patrick Mahomes to go out there and say, hey, remember, I'm still Patrick Mahomes. This is the game that you need to start the turnaround of your season. This is a huge game in terms of the, like you guys were saying, upcoming schedule. A lot of games could go 50-50. Bills. I would even kind of the Commanders. Obviously, the Dallas Cowboys with the offense that they have. If the Chiefs are going to try and say, like, hey, we're despite the record, we are the Kansas City Chiefs. We have a good defense. We have an offense that can get it done, and we're led by Patrick Mahomes, who is known to show up. This would be the game. This would be I wouldn't call it a huge upset, but this would be, with the way the two teams have been playing recently, I think a really important game for the Chiefs to win. And I think the Chiefs are also at home for this game.
They are. Yeah. I think they have to win. Well, not have to, but it would.
It's important. They really need to win this game.
But I just don't think they will. I don't know. It's a tough game. You can't ever doubt them, and I'm not doubting them. And I'm not going to be shocked to all hell if they pull it out of their ass and win by 3 points. But I'm taking Detroit to be safe. And then lastly, Torin is the only one who's taking the Commanders over the Bears. No, I guess we all went with the upset. No surprise here. Torin picking the favorite team.
What is that for?
Because you just I don't know, if you analyze Torrance picks,
I'm winning at the pick'ems.
If you analyze Torrance picks, he always picks the favorites.
That's bullshit, and you know it. I went
with the Colts. It's not.
Everybody else. I was rolling with the Colts at the start of the year, and then everybody thought I was crazy. And now look at them. They're 4-1. I still think that Jaden Daniels is better than Caleb Williams, and I think that the Commanders take this easily. I don't want to say easily because the Bears' defense is decent, but I think that the Commanders' offense just has too many weapons, and I think
I'd argue the Bears' offense has more weapons.
I was gonna say, the Bears definitely have more weapons.
I think this will be a high-scoring game, but I think it goes to the Commanders.
You think? What if Terry McLaurin doesn't play again?
Well, in all retrospect, the Bears probably could have won that game if they didn't give up one of the worst game-winning Hail Marys I've seen.
Right, they should have won that game if it wasn't for that Hail Mary.
Yeah, like it's gonna be close. I think the Commanders have looked very kind of but that's also mainly because Jaden Daniels has been hurt, McLaurin's been hurt, and when McLaurin's been on the field, he hasn't been as productive. I think if the Commanders are gonna like do anything to really go out and win this game, they got to do it with the run game. Get your running backs going and then build the pass off of that. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Bears go out there and win by at least 2 scores.
Not to doubt the Commanders either, because they just pulled out a really great upset win on the road against the Chargers. So we know they're a capable team. But I like the Bears a little bit more, and I think they're just a little more hot right now. I know that, and they're coming off the bye, so they're rested up. So I think it could play in their advantage. It's a Monday night game.
It'll be a good game.
It'll be a great game. Yeah, I can see it going either way. It's at FedEx Field, which obviously will favor the Commanders there. But to recap, Torn 55-22-1 in the pick'ems. Myself 53-24-1. Nate 50-27-1. Jake 49-28-1. John 47-30-1.
Damn, John.
I'll get Jake's pick'ems this week. He should be joining us because we're filming on a different day next week. Stuff came up for him on Wednesdays now, so it's gonna be hard to get him on the pod sometimes. But we'll figure out what we want to do. And I think with that, we can pretty much go ahead and wrap up the episode here, folks. As always, go check out the other episodes. Stay tuned for next week. Watch the NFL season. It's fun. It's awesome. I'm assuming if you're listening, you watch the NFL season. But check out our other socials in the description. Check out all the other forms of content. I want to start posting other things on stuff like Instagram. Maybe some stat graphics for players that are playing well, or some other things besides just short recap stuff. But maybe once we build up a little bit more of an audience. Speaking of which, we gained a solid amount of subs off the more recent episodes. We appreciate you guys for that. Any new listeners here that are not already subscribed, please consider doing so. If you're listening on Spotify, consider following us. Drop a follow on the other socials. Leave a like, leave feedback, whatever you guys want to do. Do good, be good. God bless. Go Bills. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Bye-bye.